Alrighty guys, so let's get back at this. As they say, the factory must grow. So, as you can see, what I have done is I have taken the clay and the sand and the limestone and routed them on over here to our brick factory, and we're carrying our bricks off and placing them someplace else. Same goes for all of our geodes. We are pulling the geodes out of here, and we're dropping these basically all back at the warehouse over by our kind of our main base area. This is all we've got left that was in chests that was feeding this without the belts to kind of consolidate up into these machines as time allows. As you've noticed, I've turned off the belts. There's a chest in front of each of these, and as these empty, I refill them. Eventually, we'll use all this up. It'll be out of the way, and then I'll extend the belts, and this will just be completely automated. And our bricks will go on down to a warehouse. Let's see what else we got going. So, as you can see, our trees have stopped moving. We have filled our warehouse. That should give us enough wood for quite some time to come. We're going to leave this set up because eventually we're going to figure out what to do with this wood, but I wanted to go ahead and start stockpiling it. Might as well make it while we have the time. We can pluck off of it later. I believe we can make the wooden plates for circuits out of it. It'll relieve some of the burden of this, and we'll be able to get our plates going a little better. We may belt it somewhere and get our basic circuit boards going just as is. So everything comes on over here and on down in typical spaghetti fashion. And we've started piling them up into warehouses as well. I know people are going to yell at me with this, but this works for me, and everybody plays their game a little different. What I am noticing is with all of the feedback loops and everything else, in order to increase production on all of the materials we got coming in, eventually we're going to have to build each one of these materials larger. And I suspect what may end up happening is I may, as we get some more of this territory opened up, make like an area for nickel, an area for zinc, and not worry about the feedback loops so much connecting to the other ones. What we may end up doing is having like little depots at each of these where all the feedback stuff goes to the depot, and then we'll make just a loop system of trains that takes it to each of the, picks it up, takes it where it needs to go, and drops it off. And we'll interconnect them with a train, I think. That's probably what we're going to end up doing. I don't know. There's probably more efficient ways to do it, but that's what I can wrap my brain around at this point, what have you. So, what are we going to do today? Well, the first thing we're going to look at is we have been making silicone. We've been making the ore. We can combine that ore with our iron to increase our iron output. We can basically double our iron output by putting the two of these together. And since we're not using this for anything else, we're probably going to look at doing that. But in order to do that, these have to be in ingots. So let's go up here where we're producing it, which is up here. And then we're going to look and see what we need to do to turn these into ingots. So if we go to silicone, monosilicone, that's not what we're after. We're after platinum silicone ingots. Craft. So we need silicone, and we need carbon, and we need to do it in a blast furnace. Well, we've got a blast furnace sitting here because we set the blast furnaces up as part of our thing. We just need carbon, and we put it right on in there. So we got a little bit of space right here, and carbon is pretty easy to make. It's charcoal and steam, and those are done, if memory serves me right, let's see. I think we can even just look at it here. Do. There it is. So carbon is done either in a liquefier or a chem plant. So what I've done is I made myself a boiler, and we've got liquefier in here somewhere as well. There it is. So we just need to take a liquefier and input it into here. Let's set this for silicon. And then we're going to need to input carbon into here. So let's move, where the hell did it go? There it is. Let's move it more in line, right? And then we're going to put an underground so that we can get an inserter in there. And then we're going to put an inserter down, and we're going to go into the inserter, and we're going to change its drop off to the far reach position, so it'll go all the way out there. Now I could use a yellow belt and move this closer, but why not just do that, right? So that's going to give us our carbon. Now carbon needs steam, so we got ourselves a boiler, and now all we need is water and fuel, right? And we got to put charcoal in here anyway, so we're just going to use charcoal as our fuel and as our input to there. So boom, 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 right? So then that's going to go in there, that's going to go in there. Now we just need water. And for water, we have one of these ground bores. Just going to plop down a ground bore. It's going to take water out of the aquifer, put it in there. Now we've got our water coming in. We just need fuel. So we just got to power that up. Right? Now that's going to make steam. That's going to make carbon. Carbon's going to go in here. We got that coming in. We should have carbon coming in at this point, right? It should be putting carbon in. Why is it not reaching? All right, let's do this. Let's make sure, right? And then that, pick up from there. There we go. Now it's picking up the carbon and putting it in. All right. So now all we need is to get the silicon ore down here. And that's as simple as changing the direction of our belt. Right? And then that belt comes in. Now, we don't need this. We don't need this. And we don't need these. Well, we need power though. All right, and then that can come out of here. Let's throw down a pole. Oops, wrong ones. There we go. So now we should be, as soon as we get enough of it, making our silicon ingots. You say tomato, I say tomato. I'm going to get rid of one of these because we don't need it. How many we need? 24. So we got to wait for a minute for that. So while we're waiting, where does that come down at? Down right there. So we're going to come over here. We're going to run a temporary line. We'll eventually pick all of this up. just like we did with our nickel. Incidentally, we have all our nickel back now. So there we go. So there's that. And then that's going to go there. And we're going to tell this just the silicon ore. And that will go up there. And that will go there. And that will go there. Oops, sorry about that. So now we will have that emptying that out, bringing it up here, and changing it back over into our ingots. So we got that going. We're not going to go any further on that right now. We just wanted to get that started, get all that stuff converted. Now, last episode, we made our ingredients for brass. So we got our zinc going. So now we can actually do what we've been striving towards, which is to get our military science going. So let's look at this and see what we got to do. And we're just going to kind of put it in this open area now to figure it out. So the first thing we're going to put down, a factory. And that factory is going to make our military science, right? And then we're going to take our military science, God damn it, out of that. All right. Right? So now what do we need going into that? We need these kinetic test plates, and we need weapons testing modules. So let's start with the kinetic testing plates. And the kinetic testing plates need InVar plates. It needs brass plates, steel plates, and weapon testing subplates, right? All right, so let us start with brass plates, because I think that's probably going to be the easiest one to get, right? So brass plates needs oh wait, no, it needs kinetic testing plates and weapons modules. Okay, so we need kinetic testing plates. Kinetic testing plates need brass plates, steel, InVar, and weapon testing subplates or whatever. All right, so let us put down a factory here. Let's leave it like that so that we've got room to put the other one under it, because we need both plates, right? So this is going to be the kinetic testing plate, right? So that's going to go in there. And what does the kinetic testing plate needs? It needs steel plates, which we already make. It needs brass plates. It needs weapons testing subplates and InVar plates, whatever InVar plates are. So let's start with the brass plates. All right, so brass plates need what? Brass plates, to craft them, need molten brass. And then molten brass needs copper ingots and zinc ingots. And that gives us molten brass, and that's done in an induction furnace, and then we're going to make it into plates. All right, well, that's kind of easy. Induction furnace, casting machine, right? So, casting machine into there, and then that's going to cast brass plates. And then induction furnace. Right, so that's going to give us molten brass. So molten brass into a casting machine gives us brass plates. Brass plates goes into there. So for this we need brass, and brass takes copper and zinc, which was the whole point of trying to do that zinc line. So if we do copper and we do zinc, right? So that's copper, zinc make brass. Brass makes brass plates. Brass plates goes into here. That's our brass plates. All right. Now, what else do we need? We need steel plates, which we're sort of making by hand already, right? So we can go steel plates. And then we need Invar plates and weapons testing subplates. All right, so let's look at, let's look at it here. Can we see here? So Invar plates and brass plates gives us our weapons testing subplate. So if we're making brass plates, we can come off of this, but then we have to have Invar. All right, so if we go 1 over and 1 over, right? Can we do that? And that gives us that, right? So brass plates in, weapons testing plates out. Okay, so our subplate out. So then we need Invar, and we need Invar for this as well. All right, let's do this. Wait, I just screwed up. No. Yeah, I did screw up. My bad. Sorry about that. Let's do this. Put that there. And we go in like that. That gives us this, which needs the brass plates. And then we got to bring Invar in here, and we got to bring Invar in here because we already got the steel. So, how do we make Invar? Invar plates need molten Invar. So that's made in a casting machine. And then Invar is steel and nickel. So we need a casting machine. To go in here with Invar plates. And we need Invar plates here. So if we go there, we can do that, right? So we got it going into there. We got it going into there. Invar, brass. Invar, brass, steel, and subplates. Okay. So now we need to make the Invar. That's an induction furnace. Molten Invar is steel ingots and nickel ingots. So here and here. And here and here. So steel. All right, we don't have steel ingots, but we do have nickel ingots. Nickel ingots. Right? And then we need to make steel. Now steel plate is made in a casting machine from molten steel. I'm going to assume, for the sake of argument, that molten steel is probably, well, let's see, molten steel is made from steel ingots. But that's what we need, is steel ingots. Okay, we don't need plates, we need ingots. So, steel. Molten steel is made from steel ingots. How do we make steel ingots? Steel ingots are made from iron ingots and oxygen gas in a blast furnace. So we need a blast furnace. To go there, and then we tell this to make steel ingots, and then we're going to need iron ingots, right? And we're going to need oxygen. All right, so oxygen and iron make steel. Steel and nickel make Invar. Invar makes Invar plates. Invar plates are needed there and there. And then that needs these and these, and that goes to there. So that's that half of what we need, right? And then we need weapons testing module. Okay, so weapons testing module needs electronic circuits, carbon, and testing circuits. And then testing circuits need electronic circuits, weapons testing boards, and carbon. So that needs carbon, that needs carbon, that needs carbon, and basic circuits. All right, so let us see here. So this has got to go here, right? And that's going to be this. And that needs carbon and green circuits. All right, well, we know all of them, all three of those need carbon. Let's do carbon there. So that one needs carbon. And it needs the next one in the line. And it needs green circuits. So, green circuits, right? And then that's going to give us that. So then that needs weapons testing circuit. So we need another one. And that's going to be weapons testing circuit. And that's going to need carbon. Carbon, green circuit, and something else. So this is also going to need green circuits. Green circuits, and then the blank card. And carbon. So this will be carbon, that'll be green circuits. We'll bring a belt here, I guess. And then this one is this. and that needs carbon. Oops, wrong one. Needs carbon, and it needs basic circuits. All right, so then the carbon needs carbon, which means it's going to need a liquefier, and it's going to need a boiler, and then they're both going to need charcoal, right? Oh, and we're going to need water. Where was that? Right here. So groundwater bore. So we take groundwater bore. That's going to give us our water. That's going to give us our steam. That's going to give us our carbon. That's going to give us that. So there is that part of our green circuits. Now, let's go back and look. So we're going to get the blue thing, and then we're going to get waste byproduct. So we got to come out. We tell that waste byproduct, right? And then this one is going to be waste byproduct and coppery waste byproduct. So we need two of them. 1, 2. And one is going to be that, and one, whoops. And one is going to be that, right? And then this is 1 and 1 as well. Okay. No waste here. Waste byproduct there. And waste byproduct there. Right? I don't think there's any waste in any of these. No. 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 We just need to bring oxygen down, basically. So that is... Huh. All right, well, that's our military science. Now we just got to make this into a usable form. But before we do that, let's test it and see if it works. So the big thing we need is oxygen. Everything else we can kind of hand carry down here. So we got oxygen right here that we can tap into. Let's get some pipe. Should have built it closer up there, I guess, huh? That's all right. We'll make it work. Oops. Where is it? There it is. All right. Right? Okay, so that gives us oxygen. And then this is iron ingots. We'll put half in there in case we need more for someplace else. This is nickel. Nickel. This is copper. This This is zinc. These two look so close together, it's hard sometimes to tell. This is iron. And then, is that it for these guys? Yeah. So then we need, oh, we need fuel for this guy, don't we? Yeah, we need fuel for this guy too. Well, let's put it over here because we still haven't connected our oxygen. So we'll do one stack here. There's our oxygen. Okay. Because that's all electric. All right. So now we need green sign or green here. Green here. Brown here. We'll do a pile here. And a pile here. I think that's everybody. Does that look like everybody? I think that's everybody. All right. So then we need to power it all up. So here, 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 here. Does that reach everybody? It looks like it covers everybody. Now let's see if it blows up. Alright, so that's taken in that. That's taken in that. This is taken in this. Alright, so that's making brass. That's making brass plates. Getting brass plates. Getting steel plates. We just need the Invar, which we're still waiting on. Alright, I guess we gotta give it more iron ingots to make more Invar. What's it take to make Invar? 24. Alright, and then that's going to take 24. So we're going to need more iron, it looks like. Alright, let's run up here and see if we can steal some iron ingots out of our iron processing. Alright. Just gotta wait for it to come through, I guess. Just stand here and wait for this one, I suppose. We're going to take 2 stacks just to make sure we got enough. Alright. So there's 48. Hopefully that's enough. Dump that in there. That needs what? Nickel. So let's put the rest of The nickel in there. Let's put the rest of the copper in there. Hopefully that's enough. Are you kidding? We're still not quite enough? Seriously? Dang it. Alright. We'll see. This should do it. As long as we get one. Once we get one, I'll be happy. We get one science, we know it's working. Because once we get one science, we can route this to feed it. It's going to temporarily reduce our iron production. But I'm okay with temporarily reducing our iron production to be able to get the sniper rifle. We should probably steal some... Ah, we missed the copper. Dang it. Wanted to get enough copper to make sure we had enough copper, too. Alright, let's try that. Let's see if that's enough. I hope that's enough. If that's enough and we get one science, we know it's working. So there's copper. There's iron. That's making iron. That'll make iron plates. Or that'll make Invar plates, right? That'll make molten Invar. Alright, there comes our molten Invar. That's going to make Invar plates. Alright, and then Invar plates. We need 3 Invar plates to make one of those. And we need 7 of those. Really? Alright, looks like we're going to have to run more iron down here then. Maybe. There's 5. 6. How many of those does it need? 1 of each. Alright, what are you missing? You're missing Invar. Figures. Alright, but that's on that side. On this side, we got 2 weapons modules, so we know this is working. And it looks like this is working. I think we're okay, guys. I think we're okay. I think we just need a little more iron. Come on. Once we get this and we know we can make it, then we're going to go look at our tech real quick, and we're going to add our sniper rifle to our tech. Alright, so there's that. Alright, well, look, we know it's making that, right? That needs Envor plates. So that's making that. That's making that. All right, there we go. So we got our first science coming out. All right, so there's our first military. So each one of those processes is going to give us 2 science. Okay, cool. So now we can go in here and we can say, oh, okay, so we only got to do that 100 more times. So sniper rifle, we're going to snag sniper rifle. We're gonna snag the geode processing. From the looks of it, that helps us to increase our production. We can add crystals in to the system, so we're gonna do that. I don't think we need better boilers yet. Silicone processing, I don't think we need yet. We're going to take this because, like I say, we may start having to move stuff around by train, and the car's getting to the point where it would be nice to have. So we're going to take that, which is going to give us engine that we're going to need for cars and for trains. What is this? Powdered metallurgy. We'll take that, I guess. And then this is advanced copper smelting, advanced iron smelting, advanced lead. Well, we want anything that's going to advance our copper and our iron. We're going to take it. Since it's going to take a little while to get that, we'll put that at the end of the list. And that'll get us through those. That'll get us to that. Meanwhile, I can go ahead and move this around somewhere and get it set up. We know it works now. We just need to pipe in a heck of a lot more iron ingots. But there it is. There's our basic setup for science, for military science. And so far we've got 2 of them. So when we come back, we'll have this set up probably somewhere up around here so that it feeds into our science, and we can go from there. All right, guys. I will talk at you later. Bye.